up to the entry of kin'ah, of jealousy. And sages teach us that a person can fall into a very, very bad situation based on jealousy, because of jealousy. Masechet Avot tells us in the 4th chapter that jealousy or lust or the chase of honor can lead to a person to lose his world, to be removed from this world, meaning he can lose olam hazeh, olam haba. The sages tell us that in Pasuk in Shir Shirim, Kashe kishaol kina, jealousy is as difficult as the grave. What does that mean? It's as difficult as the grave. It leads to the grave. Esav was jealous of Yaakov. Yosef's brothers were jealous of Yosef. Shaul HaMelech was jealous of King David. And they all ended up doing things that were very bad and ended up being in a horrible situation, all based because they were doing their actions based on jealousy. However, a person can use his jealousy for good. The Gemara Masechet Baba Batra tells us that kinat sofrim tarbeh chokhmah. If a person is jealous of a sage, jealous of a righteous person, it can motivate you to become a better person, motivate you to become a more of a learned person. So it all depends on what you use the jealousy for. The Masechet Chulin quotes a pasuk in Tehillim in chapter 112. It says, "Tov ish chonen muleveh, yichalkel demarav b'mishpat." Good is the person who is gracious and lends, and he conducts his business with justice. What does it mean, conducts his business with justice? The Gemara says that he spends according to his budget. He doesn't overspend. He doesn't go, and because of jealousy and because of he wants to look like everybody else, he buys what everybody else has, even though he can't afford it. The Gemara says that's a sur. The Gemara says that the Torah praises a person who spends according to what he can handle. Because a lot of people, they fall into this trap of trying to spend on so much in order to be able to fit in and to keep up with everybody else. The Pasuk at Kohelet says, "Metukat shnat ha'oved im ma'at ve'im harbe yochal ve'asava le'ashir eno maniach no lishon." The Pasuk says, "Sweet is the sleep of the laborer who is happy with what he has. He eats little or a lot. But the satiety of the rich, the rich have so much, that doesn't let him sleep." The Khatam Sofer says, because he sees the rich people, the poor man is always thinking, he's always has anxiety. When am I going to have what they have? When am I going to be able to be on their level? When am I going to be able to buy what they have? So even though he has technically what he needs for his family, because he sees the rich, says Kohelet, that's why the person cannot sleep at night. That's why he gets nervous. So therefore, a person has to make sure not to fall into this, that he has to think that he has to buy what they have in order to be happy, or he has to fit in with everybody else buying all the expensive things they have. Everybody should do what's good for them. Rav Yaakov Galinsky, alav hashalom, he used to have a famous story with him that he was walking down the street and he saw a person with his contractor building the front of his house, telling his contractor, "I want this fountain, I want this color brick, I want the path like this." And he butted in, the rabbi butted in, and he said to the contractor, "Don't listen to him. I'll tell you how to build the front of the house." And the owner of the house said, "How can you do this? That's disrespectful. It's chutzpah. I deserve to build my house, not you. I should decide." He says, "Mr. Balabait, excuse me, you come to your house and see the front of your house for 2 seconds, you go inside and then you call it a day. But who sees the front of your house more? The neighbors, we do. People walking up and down the block, we see your house more than you do. So therefore, who are you doing this for? Who are you designing the front of your house for? Who is it really benefiting? It's benefiting us, so we should decide. You're really doing it for us." A person has to ask himself, when you buy what you buy, when you do what you do, are you doing it for yourself, or are you doing it because of other people? Are you doing it to impress others, or are you doing it because you really believe this is the right thing to do? Don't fall into the trap where people say that people spend money they don't have to buy things that they're not important, to impress people that don't care. So therefore, a person should try to feel what the sage is saying, not to fall into jealousy, rather to fall into jealousy for good things, for wisdom, for the mitzvot, for Torah, and to be able to use his whatever Hashem gave him and to be happy with it. Who is rich? The one who's happy with his lot. Baruch Adonai.